right? This is doorknob holes. Listen, when the doorknob goes through the wall, and it's happened many times that I've seen, that's a little dent right there, but sometimes you see it, and this is about the same size as a doorknob, but sometimes when it goes all the way through like that, again, I can patch it with this first aid kit. Okay, listen up. Before you patch this hole that's made by the doorknob, right, you have to put the door stop in. Otherwise, it'll just happen again. I won't patch a hole if there's no door stop. So you have to put the door stop in. They're really simple. They're really easy to do. So make sure, seriously, make sure you get your door stop in before you patch that hole. You really want to do that. Okay? Okay, I've mixed up my mud again. I'm going to patch up this big hole in this first aid kit. You have a piece of roll patch. This roll patch made by Straight Flex. You see it? I am going to have to cut a small patch out of it. I don't need all of this. So you can do a number of big holes with this. And I just take my tin snips or a piece of scissors, whatever I need, and I just cut a patch the size of the hole, a little bit bigger than the hole. You see? You can see the difference here. I can go either direction with it. I'll probably put it on this way. But the main thing that you got to remember too, guys, is if this is a glossy finish, or if you've got powder or something on the wall, you need to spray it again. Spray it with some sort of primer sealer, you know, and you're going to have to spray it big enough so it's bigger than the patch. You want to make sure it's bigger than the patch itself before you put this on. Now, when you're going to do this, I need you to mix up the mud. I need to take some of the mud on this patch now, right? And mud up the patch. Don't mud up the hole, mud the patch up. Make sure you got enough mud on the patch. Look at this. See how much mud I have on here? Can you see that? All right? You see that? It's nice and closed. Now, I'm going to put the patch on here, right? And I'm just going to wipe it down. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to wipe it so it's wiped out nice and good. And make sure that you prime this, if you have to prime it, that you prime this way beyond what the hole is, because your mud's going to go way beyond what the hole is. Now, what I like to do is that. I like to I don't mud the hole, because if I mudded this really well, it would bulge out. But I do mud the edge, and I get some mud on the edge. All right? So that's this. One coat, let it dry. Walk away, let it set up, let it get dry. I put a second coat on this, and I'm going to use the 6-inch, the widest of the two knives. The widest of the 3 knives, I should say. There's 3 knives in here. This is the doorknob hole. Like I said, before you patch it, make sure you put your door stop in place. The reason this hole ended up being here is because there was no door stop. So the doorknob went through. Actually, I hit it with a baseball bat. But so what I'm going to do now, again, I'm just going to make sure there's nothing on here. I could take the sanding sponge again. Same sanding sponge, and I could just brush it off a little bit, okay? And then, again, with the wide knife, I'm going to coat the whole thing in. Just coat the whole thing in. Very simple, very easy, okay? Don't leave a lot of mud, because I'll tell you why. You're going to coat it in this direction, And then after this sets up, I'm going to coat it in this direction, and it's going to take out this. And then when I coat it this way, it's going to take out that, and it'll be ready to sand. One more coat of this, and it'll be ready to sand. All right, so here's the last one. Again, and then I'm going to dust it off a little bit. Like I said, a piece of sandpaper is going to be in the first aid kit with you. It'll be there. And if you remember, the last time I coated it this way. I have a little bit of an edge here and a little bit of an edge here. So this time when I coat this, I'm going to go this way. I'm going to skim the whole thing out. Make sure the whole thing is coated. And understand this, when you're putting on the second and third coat, you don't have to add as much mud, and so you don't have to mix up that much. This looks incredible. All right, so tomorrow I will sand these and I will paint them. This is my other one. It was a big hole from the doorknob and coming through the wall. And again, all I'm looking to do, take care of those edges. And if you've got big edges, skim it again. Don't worry about it, just skim it again, tight coat. And now I'm gonna just look for anything that might be in the middle. I'm not really seeing or feeling anything here. It's pretty good. But again too, if you feel something and you don't like it, skim it again. Put another skim coat on it. That feels really good, all right? So let's paint that now. The biggest problem I have, one of the biggest problems that I have is not doing the patch. It's somebody else doing the painting, and what happens is they create flashing. So you have a very smooth spot here, and then you have the rough paint afterwards. So if you do see that on your patches, hit it again. Hit it again with some more paint, not with mud, but with some more paint. Let it dry and try to match the texture that's on the paint itself. So that's done. So this is everything that I did with one first aid kit. I taped it a piece of the angle, okay? Every single one of the videos on this playlist I did with one first aid kit. That's all I did. I taped two big holes, or two small holes here, one big hole there. I smashed the corner bead over here, and cut it out, taped and finished that. And then I created a crack up there, cut it out, taped and finished that. Okay, I just wanted to show you after I did all of these patches how much of this stuff I had left. Obviously, if you don't step on the cup, you still got your 2 cups left over. You've got your 3 knives. 1, 2, 3. You got your 3 knives. They're going to still be left over, obviously. But I only cut a small piece off of this. So you can imagine how much more you can repair with the no coat that you have here, right? I still have quite a bit of tape. Now, if you need a lot more tape, you can buy small rolls at any hardware store. If you're only using tape, you can buy small rolls of this. Matter of fact, you can buy all of this stuff. I've got this much fiberglass mesh tape left over, but that's because I only used about this much for those 2 holes over there, right? And then I have this much patch. I taped a hole, a pretty good size hole. This should be able to do about 3 of those, about 3 nice size holes. This should be able to do that. 1, 2. So it'll do 3 nice size holes. All right, and then this mud, this is how much mud I got left over. I still got quite a bit of mud left in here after doing all those patches, right? I still have quite a bit. And I also have this as waste. So as I was mixing up the stuff, I didn't need that much mud, and I had this much as waste. So you guys, you've got more than enough here to do a lot of work. And all of these patches on all of these videos, if I was doing them all at one time, I probably would charge about $250. If I was just doing one patch, one small patch, I got a minimum of 150 bucks. I'm going to charge $150 for a hole in the wall. I'm going to charge $150 even if you've got a hole this big. I'm going to charge you $150. So if you purchase this for $50 plus shipping and handling, you're way ahead of the game. The corner bead, I think I would probably charge maybe a little bit more because that took a little bit more time. I had to cut it out. I had to fix it. I had to fix the corner bead all up and down. I might have charged $200 for that repair. Again, I've done 2, 3, just in the repairs that I've done in this bedroom, I have probably done about $300 to $400 in repair work just in this bedroom. Bringing it to paint a little bit more because chances are I can't just spot paint it. I'm going to have to paint the whole wall, corner to corner. So that would be a little bit more too. It's well worth it, guys. I think this first aid kit is going to be a moneymaker. I think if you purchase it, you're going to be able to save a lot of money in your house. College students, you know how many college students punch holes in the walls? You know how many times they get called because they put a big hole in the wall? You can fix it with this. You guys have a great day.